we see the movies, and there's like, I just think like Godfather movies or whatever, like Italian restaurants, people being gunned down in the front. Is that all real?
Well, listen, you don't want to go into a specific movie, but yeah, I mean, people get killed in that life, and it happens. And you make a mistake, you violate policy, you do something you shouldn't do. You're told straight out you can pay for it with your life, and it might be your best friend called upon to do it because the life comes before anything, comes before relationships, comes before friendships. It's the life. You have to follow the rules, abide by the policies, and if you don't, there's serious consequences.
It's almost like Christianity, but the opposite. Like, you give your life, it's a blood oath. There's no, I mean, that's it. And you got to obey God, and you're part of an army now, but it's just for not for the kingdom. But some of the principles seems like, where do they get those principles?
Well, I guess you can liken it in some way. I mean, the penalties of, well, no, you'd already be a Christian, so the consequences are not nearly as severe in Christianity.
No,
God.
not severe, but as far as some of the principles of, this is your life, this is who you are now, and this
Oh,
is
absolutely.
you're you're
Yes,
you're a soldier, you're a disciple. You're,
absolutely.
yeah,
And
wow,
listen, to be a Christian, it takes discipline,
yeah.
and you abide by God's rules in a way. So yeah.
So Michael, so how did when you got made? I know the story, but a lot of people don't know the story. It was Halloween, and talk to us. This is a big deal.
Yeah, Halloween night, 1975. I was called into a room with five other gentlemen. We went in individually. The boss of our family was seated at the head of a horseshoe configuration. Underboss and the consigliere, two official positions, were alongside of him, and all of the capo regimes or captains were alongside of them. We had about 15 in our family at that point. And I walked down the aisle, stood in front of the boss, held out my hand. He took a knife, cut my finger. This is a blood oath. Some blood dropped on the floor. I cupped my hands. He took a picture of a saint. There was a Catholic altar card. Put it in my hand and lit it aflame. It didn't hurt. It burned quick. It was merely symbolic. And he said to me, "Tonight, Michael Franzese, you are born again into a new life, into
I'm
Cosa
telling you,
Nostra."
there's a lot of correlation here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's because what's the saint? What's the blood? That's a blood oath. That's a covenant.
It is a
You're
covenant.
mixing blood. Your blood, their blood. It's one. You're one. You're one family. Blood in, blood out.
And then he said, if you violate your oath, betray your brothers, you're going to die, burn in hell like the saint is burning in your hands.
Whoa.
And he said, do you accept? And I said, yes, I do. And that's how it started for me.
Did you feel anything different after that?
I was exhilarated. Yeah, I felt like, wow, I earned my stripes, and I'm part of the family. I'm blood brothers with all of them, and it was a high for me.
So I want to take our time because we're going to do another podcast before you come. So I don't want to get all into like the end. I want the story because it's part of it. It's the testimony. So now you're in the life, and this is big because now like the Goodfellas movie. This is Johnny this is Michael Franzese, and it's your name. It's you. I've rewinded it like a lot. Like that's in a minute, and then you're like, hey, you're at the bar area. How did all
Yeah,
that feel? That whole, was that the way it really was, or is it just Hollywood?
no, I mean, there was this look, Hollywood gets it right to a degree. I mean, some of the things are crazy. But look, you know what, Jason? There's no other criminal organization in the world that's been romanticized like the mafia. I mean, in movies and television, in the media, everywhere. And so some of the things, and I think because a lot of the characters were larger than life. I'll give you an example. This crazy society that we live in now where they want to cancel everything. They want to cancel presidents. They want to cancel people of prominence. Well, listen
Everybody.
to this. You'll appreciate this. I'm at a market, and I'm at the checkout counter, and I look to my right, and there's the magazine rack, and there's a magazine with Al Capone on the cover. So naturally, I go over, I pick it up. The whole magazine was about Al Capone. Now, he died 80 some odd years ago, right? So I'm reading through it, and I get to one section there where Al Capone had a home in Palm Beach, Florida. and a developer bought the home and it was going to knock it down and put a new home there. Well, the people in the community were so outraged that he was knocking down the home, they signed a petition, over 25,000 names on it, not to have that home knocked down. And the developer backed off and left the home. It's still there. So I'm saying they want to cancel everybody in history, but Al Capone, they want that monument.
That's crazy. So, so I'm thinking about the movie. I'm thinking about you. I really love you, Michael. We've known each other for a long time, and you're the same guy in front, public, private. You're the same guy. That's what I love about you. And maybe 20 something, 30, 25 years I've known you. It's maybe a little longer, but I'm thinking about the movie, and they're bringing in the fur coats, and and then we're gonna do that. Was it like that? Tell me. I want to know.
I mean, look, we lived pretty high. Those of us that were making money and doing well, we lived pretty high. But the Goodfellas story. My wife Camille. She didn't want to look at any of this stuff. She didn't read my book. She didn't look at my autobiography.
Yeah, you got the good one, man. You got a good one. You got blessed.
Right? So I get home from prison and Goodfellas comes out and I said, honey, let's go see that movie. I knew all those guys. It was kind of nostalgic for me. So she said, okay, let's go. So we get in the theater. I'm eating my popcorn. She's sitting there.
I can see this.
You know how it sounds very graphic. They're killing the guy.
Yeah.
So she turns to me, Jason, and she said, is this what you did? Were you guys really like that? Right? So I said, Cam, it's a movie. They make things up. It's Hollywood. Don't believe anything. Right? I'm eating my popcorn. I'm getting nervous. Yes. Listen.
I know your wife. That's why. Okay.
10 minutes later, there's the bar scene, and there's Michael Franzese. I said, hey, let's go.
It only got worse from there. It only got worse.
We got up and left.
Oh,
right?
my gosh.
Because, that was a different crew.
Oh,
that was
man.
I knew all those guys. So the writer of the movie, Nick Pileggi, was a friend of mine. So I called Nick up. I said, Nick, why did you put me in that movie?
Why did you put me in that movie?
So he said, come on, Mike, you had good name value. You knew Jimmy Burke. You knew Henry Hill. So I put you in there. I said, all right. I said, next time warn me, will you please? But,
Copyright. Yeah. I want 25 cents for every time that they say my name.
Oh, my God. I've heard it. My wife still hasn't seen the movie. She won't watch it.
Oh, it's probably better she doesn't, Michael. It's probably better.
Much better.
So you're living the life. You're living the life. I mean, now you're starting to fly high. So you're a made man, and then something happens where you strike gold, and everything changes, even in the made life. Break that down.
Well, yeah, I was doing good. I was fortunate. I knew how to use the life to benefit me in business, and if you do that, you can succeed. So I was a hard worker, Jason. I worked 24/7. I was very aggressive. I brought some new things into the family. But then I strike gold in the gas business, and I don't want to repeat the whole story now. We can say it when I come or another time. But to make a very long story short, I fall upon a scheme to defraud the government out of tax on every gallon of gasoline. Over a 7-year period of time, I was selling 500 million gallons of gas a month, taking down 30 to 40 cents a gallon. Do the math. I had over 300 gas stations I either owned or operated, and I had 18 companies that were licensed to collect tax on every gallon of gasoline. And I had a very strategic network to hold the government off, so they didn't know how we were doing it, or they just didn't have a clue. And we were bringing in $7, $8, $9 million a week. They just couldn't figure it out.
Stop, because I don't think people realize how much money that is. Okay, 7 to 8 million a week. This is how long ago?
This is in late 70s to mid 80s.
So that would be 14 million today a week.
Correct.
14 to 20 million. Okay, that's dangerous. That's power that can kill you. That's death money. That's blood money. That's dangerous money.
Listen, I had my own.
At that point, it's like you touch Michael, you're done, because he's the golden goose.
Exactly. And to skip way ahead, That's why when I walked away from that life, so many people were upset with me because that channel basically went dead at that point, and people were very resentful of that. But I had my own jet plane. I had a Bell helicopter.
What kind
I
of
had
plane did you have?
It was Lear 25A,
So you were moving fast in that thing.
moving quick. The
Yep.
government
Yep.
couldn't keep up with me.
I know exactly what that is. Yep. Man, you were going fast from one coast to the next.
We were going quick. It was a great
Wow.
tool, great convenience at the time. And I had a house in 3 states. So
You
I
lived
mean, I
in
was
Miami Beach, right?
actually in Palm Beach,
Palm Beach. Palm Beach. Yeah. Okay.
and
And
I
then
had a house in Marina Del Rey too, California.
you what when you were affiliated, you were in California.
Yeah, I started coming out to L.A. in '79.
Okay, I got to ask something because I've seen movies how the mob didn't break into L.A. too much. Is this true or not true? Or you cannot comment?
No, nobody was really out here, but you know what? I liked it so much out in California.
No,
When
no,
the
you
guy,
hold on. It dropped. It dropped. The signal dropped. Hold on. What? Say it again. I want to hear this. So, did they break in and create camp here, a base, or no?
some of us were here. Yes, we were here. But I'll tell you what
Oh,
happened. I'll tell you what happened, Jason. I liked it so much out here that when I would go back, people would say, "Mike, how's California?" I'd say, "Horrible. Nobody wants to." I didn't want anybody following me
you,
out here.
you found the Garden of Eden for this for your lifestyle.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's
Nobody. There's
terrible. Don't ever go there. The weather's horrible. The people are wow.
crazy. Don't stay where you are.
Yes,
So
because you get the wrong guys in, like that one. I think it's called the Goodfellas. You got the guy in Vegas, and he ruined everything. You get the wrong guy in there, and ruin everything. So you're in California too. You got a house in Palm Beach. You got a house in California. You got a Learjet, $8 million a week. I mean, and you're a made man. Where was your third house? Might as well just throw it in there. Don't
New
tell me
York.
Napa Valley.
Oh no, it's in New York. New York.
Where?
In Long Island, New York.
New York. Okay, so you're in all the. Okay, so then we got about 6 minutes. We want to get a little bit of the testimony and of how you came to Christ. Not all of it, because I want to save it because we got a lot. We got another show to do, and then you're gonna come, and there'll be thousands of people here because they love you. We've had you for years, and so you're gonna see the whole new campus too. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty cool.
To be honest with you, I can't wait to come back because out of all the, I've probably done over 1,600 churches throughout my 25 years, but yours one of my favorite, without a doubt.
Well, because we're family, like we're family. We're family.
Different family.
Yes. So okay, so a little bit about the testimony. I want to hear a little bit about the wife because she was it's her mom. Irma was the stronghold, and then her, and then you. So we got about 5 minutes. Don't tell everything. Don't spill all the beans because I want to save some of it. But in a nutshell, what happened? Because how did you change? Like, this is crazy.
Jason, I met my wife on a movie set. I was, among many things I was doing, I was producing movies.
And real quick, what movies? Because they're popular for my era.
Knights of the City was one. Then I did a lot of exploitation films, horror films.
Oh,
Well, I did Knights of the City, which was a breakdance movie.
yeah, the
where I met
break. Yeah.
Savage Streets, which was with Linda Blair right after she did Exorcist. I had her. And then I did a number of like horror films. They were big at that time.
Ooh.
Gates of Hell and a whole bunch of them, about 30 films altogether. But so I'm producing this film in Florida. Camille.
You're producing.
Yeah, I was producing. I was financing.
You're financing.
Yeah, and I was the executive producer, and I got involved. I was involved.
I gotta talk to you about that later. All right, that's a good one. I didn't know you were actually involved. Okay.
No, I was involved, and so I met her. She was one of the dancers that we brought in from California, from L.A. And I met her on the set, and she was gorgeous, and I was very attracted to her. And finding out she's this Christian girl, and again, a long story short, I fell very much in love with her, and she's now, as you know, my wife of 39 years. But meeting her mother, too, who was, Jason, Irma was the strongest woman of God that I had met to that point, and even till today. And she was a prayer warrior.
And she wouldn't have been intimidated by you.
Not at all. Not
Because
at
she
all.
was just not afraid of anything.
Not at all. And I want to. I don't want to give things up because I want to be in person speaking to your congregation, but to give you the extent of the impact these two women had on me within my heart. And there's no question in my mind that God put Camille in my life because he had a different plan and a purpose for my life that I didn't see back then. I never dreamed of walking away from that life. I was in it forever. It wasn't even a thought in my mind until I meet this girl, and I'll get into why these thoughts started to come in. But I can tell you this: I think my mother-in-law Irma prayed me to where I am today.
I have no doubt about it.
She had vision, and she did something that was very prophetic that I don't want to repeat at this moment. That touched me like nothing else touched me in my life. And I think when people hear that, they're going to be overwhelmed. They're going to understand the power of prayer, the power of a praying woman. And I
Mm.
always say this: never underestimate the power of a praying woman, because it's tremendous power that the Lord gives them in their prayer.
I don't know the people are right now are believing God for their husbands, their children, people in their lives that they love. And sometimes it feels like they're never going to change or transformation. I'm a miracle. I shouldn't have been where I'm at. I mean, if you'd have said I've been doing what I'm doing 30 years ago, I would have asked you, give me a bag of that or some, whatever you're smoking because that you're crazy. If I would have told Michael Franzese is going to be, a minister, he's going to be helping people all over the world, and he's not going to be a made man, they would have said you're crazy. But the power of a praying mom, a praying grandma, I think it would be the theme we want to close with because I don't think there's anything more powerful than that. And
No,
with that in mind, I think we'll close the show by praying. But yeah, I feel it right now. Michael, would you just pray for those believing God for their families to come to the Lord, the Jasons, the Michaels, the ones that they don't seem like they can ever change. I believe we can ask God and He'll hear us.
absolutely. And Jason, before I do that, I just had an interview with a gentleman this morning who did 33 years in prison, and his wife, as a Christian, waited for him for 33 years.
Holy tamale!
Yeah, and I just had a conversation with her before we jumped on, and it was incredible. Another woman, prayerful woman, and what was even more telling, they had arrested her for something, and as a result, she didn't do any jail time, but she was a convicted felon, and for 18 years they wouldn't allow her to visit her husband. So she didn't even see him. She was just, no visits. It was telephone calls and letters. And she waited
Wow.
3 years. And she said, the Lord sustained me throughout all of that time. And, people need to understand the power of God in somebody's life when we devote and dedicate ourselves to Him. The amazing turnaround. And these two people now, he's 81, she's near that age. They have a wonderful life together now. It's unbelievable. I hear these stories and I'm so fascinated. And in every one of them, God was the one that played the role that keep these people together and for their lives to blossom after all of these things.
Yeah, I know my grandma prayed for me. There's no doubt she's in heaven now. My mom prayed every day, and there's no devil in hell that has the power to hold back the power of a praying mom, dad, or family, or anyone who has a heart for prayer. So let's pray, Michael, and then we'll close. Some closing words.
You
Would
want
you?
me to?
Yeah, sure.
Well, dear Lord, first of all, I want to thank you for, bringing me together with Jason, and been so blessed every time I visited his church, and I'm certainly looking forward to being there again in the next few weeks. And Lord, for all of those that are listening today that might be struggling through something in their life, that believe even if they turn their life around, that God doesn't have a plan and a purpose for them, that God can never use them. Please use stories like mine as an example that if God can, you know, save me, not only save me, but give me my life, give me a wife that I adore, children that I love, a ministry I never asked for, that He can and will do it for anyone. And I want you to, Lord, just shine your light on all those people listening today and really make them understand the power that you have in anyone's life. The power of grace, the power of mercy, the power of redemption is so strong, it's so real, it's so vital in all of our lives. And Jesus Christ is not only my Lord and Savior, but He became my hero for the man that He was. That there's no match anywhere ever, in the entire universe. There never will be, never was, never could be the type of man that He was. And in a day and an age where we need men to be godly men, please let men look at Jesus, read the Gospels, read the New Testament, and do their best to try to emulate Him throughout their lives. And that's will make them better husbands, better fathers, better bosses, better employees, whatever it might be. It's all about Jesus and emulating Him. So, God, I ask you to please shine your light on everyone listening here today. Let them understand the power you have in their lives and their families' lives. Bless them all, and can't wait to meet many of them when I get to Jason. I believe on July 20th or 21st, we're going to be there. So, with that, we give you all the praise, honor, and glory. And, with that, we all say amen.
It is the 21st, Michael. Hey,
21st. Okay.
Look at this. I'm just, my mind, this is my mind. So what is this? Is that trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding? Yes.
Yep. I got two of them. These are the two verses that hit me the most in my life and had
So this one is trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. Correct?
Yes.
What's 16:7?
16:7.
What is it?
No, I'm giving it to you.
No, but what does it mean? The definition. I don't know it by heart.
It's Proverbs. You
Okay.
don't know what it means?
No,
Should I hold it back?
No, go ahead. Shoot.
Huh?
Shoot.
Well, he said if you should know this, Jason.
Yeah, you should know. I got you.
No, you didn't.
All right, Michael. One more thing. It's my mind. Here's my one more thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, give it to me. Okay, so here's one more thing. Who's that handsome gentleman? It looks like Robert De Niro to the right, and underneath him. Is that you?
Yeah. Well, listen, I gave him the 50 top guys, and he put me in there too. So what am I going to say, right?
That's you. That's the picture, right to the bottom right. Right. Okay. Here it is, Michael. When a man's ways please the Lord,
even his enemies repeated him. I wanted you to know that because that's the first verse that really caught my attention. Because when I read it, and I'm not going to give you the circumstances around it, I had nothing but enemies on both sides of the street. Nothing but enemies. And I read that verse, and the enemies part got me. And then something kind of drew me back, and it was almost, now understand something. I don't have any special connection with the Lord. I've never seen Him in a dream. I've never heard Him speak to me audibly, but He speaks to my heart all the time. Now we have a relationship. But back then, it was almost as if the Holy Spirit was standing there saying to me, okay, you married this Christian girl. You have a Christian mother-in-law. You claim you're out of that life. You didn't do any of that for me. You did it for you. I got convicted. And it was the first time I was like looking myself in the mirror and saying, who are you kidding? Everything you've done has been self-serving at this point. And it was almost at that point, like the Spirit said to me, if you would have done this for me, I can take care of all your enemies because I'm God. That's how I interpreted that verse. And it had such an impact on me. That's what caused me to read more of Proverbs. And that's when I came to this verse. But it was that first verse that hit me.
You know what that's called? You got a rhema. That's a revealed word. That's what the Bible calls the sword of the Spirit. That word has kept you alive because that word has come to pass. That's a water. You can walk on water when you get a word. When He said, He told Peter, come. And he literally was able to walk on the water. When He told the apostles, let us cross over in the storm, it was still, because when you have a rhema and you believe it and you trust God, He'll make even your enemies at peace with you. So, Michael, we love you so much. And we have to do it again soon before you come. So
you just let me know my schedule. I'm going to be in town right up until I see you. So
okay,
we're ready.
Well, that's good news. I love you, Michael, and we will see you in a couple of days here, probably a couple of weeks, maybe a week, and then we'll see you live in person. Love you, Michael.
See you then. God bless. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, that's Michael Franzese. What a podcast. I'm going to let you go now. Again, subscribe, like, hit and make subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so we can let you know of new content. We love you. God bless you. And again, it's time for Pharaoh to let my people go. See you soon.